Good morning and welcome to the Free Daily Coaching Podcast. We broadcast live every morning, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain, and 7:30 Pacific. If you want to join us live while we're recording the podcast, you can visit us over at www.freedailycoaching.com, and you can actually register for the live webinar broadcast where each and every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can actually watch as we record the podcast. I want to welcome you to this morning's episode of Free Daily Coaching. Today is Wednesday, June 17th. I'm always excited on a Wednesday. Wednesday is Webinar Wednesday. For the past few years, I have participated in a marketing company with an affiliate company, and I use this company to market, and it's really all the marketing tools that I use, the platform that I use, and it's called My Lead System Pro. And if you want to go and check that out, you could always just go to http:///treb, that's TREB, which is just my first name backwards. So that's treb.mlsp.com. You can go and check it out and see the marketing platform that I'm talking about. And the reason I get so excited on Wednesdays is because it's Webinar Wednesday. So each and every Wednesday, they have a Wednesday night webinar that you can register for. I'll shoot that link over as well. And you can go to TREB, which is my first name, again, backwards, treb.weeklymarketingwebinars.org. That's weeklymarketingwebinars, plural. That's a plural with a webinar with an S on the end, .org. And you could get registered for a Wednesday night webinar. And I get so excited because that Wednesday webinar was the webinar that I attended that changed it all for me. That really made the picture look different for me. And it was a webinar not too long ago. I remember watching a couple guys launching a video product. They had a product that they had put together for video marketing, and they were launching it that night. And I was so excited and to be there. I had no idea that live webinars even existed. I had no idea that you could literally log into your computer and watch a presentation, watch and be a part of a live presentation as it was happening via the internet. I just thought that was the coolest thing since sliced bread. I just was so excited. So I'm always excited on a Wednesday to share with you about Webinar Wednesday, one of my favorite days of the week. Now, I do want to make a couple announcements here to this morning on the podcast for those that love to chime in daily and listen in daily. I want you to be aware that Friday, this week, Friday, the 19th, we will not be having a live podcast. We will not be having a live podcast on that day. We will have some recorded material up tomorrow or Friday morning that will get posted. So we will not have a live podcast or webinar on Friday. So I want to talk this morning about putting in effort and how can you succeed if you don't even try? And that's really the topic this morning. And the reason is quite simple. It was an example, and I just totally changed the call at the last minute this morning, and that's why we were running just a few minutes late. This over the past few weeks, I've been participating in kind of like a little contest with myself to see how many things, different prizes I could win using the different ideas and strategies and methods that I learned in online marketing. And so, as many of you know, recently I went to a conference down in Dallas, Texas, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, and I was in a social media contest for a company called Blue Star Pays. So Blue Star Services is a payment processing service company that happened to be there at the event. What an amazing company. I'm looking forward to doing some business with them in the future. And they had a hashtag contest to go and win tickets to the Rolling Stones. So as many of you know, that just a few weeks ago, I had won tickets to the Rolling Stones. And over the last year, I've just won so many of these affiliate prizes And I've been participating here locally and trying to call in and doing some radio shows and winning some cool things. I won some lift tickets. I've won a couple of dinners for my wife and I. Well, on the specific station that I called, I won the last prize that I won. Like it was like the value of it. They said I had to wait like 3 months or 6 months, or there's some time limit that I have to wait until I can win another prize. So this morning I just happened to be doing some stuff around the house, and I heard them say that it was a contest. And I know typically, and this is why I say play to win, and you know, are you going to have success? Well, let's look at what you're doing. Are you actually trying? And I'm going to, trust me when I tell you, I'm going to wrap this all up in a pretty bow, and you're going to love how this all ties together. And I'm going to show you exactly how, you know, by participating, you can start winning. So I know that I'm not able to participate, but I'm listening and I hear this, that there's some contest going. And so it didn't say a certain number of caller or anything, and I'm usually dial too fast or there's something going on. And so I shouted out real quick to my wife, hey babe, call Peak FM. That's the radio channel here. And she's like, okay. So she calls, and guess what? She just happened to get through. So then they started asking questions, and I just got to hear it. You know, it's a little bit of a delay. So I got to hear the contest, and she was like, no, I was just following directions. I don't even know what the contest is, right? Because they said the directions, and then she's like, oh goodness, or oh Lord, right? Like, and then they were like, what? Didn't you just hear the directions? And she's like, no, I was just listening to my husband. He said, call in. Well, this is what's absolutely amazing. Just a couple of weeks ago, as I mentioned, I won tickets to this Rolling Stone concert. Well, between my wife and I, we decided that it would be valuable to us as a couple, as our business, to take someone that I do a lot of business with and that I work with, because we were going to be with a bunch of people that we have an opportunity to make some connections with at this event. So I invited to this concert my business associate and colleague, Diane Hockman. And so Diane and I got to go to this amazing concert. Well, now I'm going to bring it back around for you guys and show you how if you actually go participate, you give yourself a shot. Now, my wife always talks about how I'm always winning all these contests, and I'm always, you know, I'm getting these prizes and stuff. And this morning I simply was like, hey babe, just call in. Hey babe, just go participate, because you could call in too. And she did, right? And the cool part is this: she dialed in, she got through, and she won the contest. How amazing is that? Now, this is what's so cool about that is my wife has been wanting to go to Red Rocks Amphitheater up near Denver, and she's never been there. And so we had planned on going this summer before she's going out of town to go to a trip. Well, guess what? She just won tickets this morning, and this is the great part. The reason that we were waiting to go this summer is so that she could go and see the symphony, right? The Colorado Symphony was playing. Well, the tickets that she won for this Sunday, so she won them for this weekend. She decided a few weeks ago that she wasn't going to be traveling with me this weekend. I'm going out of town for a speaking event at a network marketing or an online marketing event. And so she was originally planning on traveling with me, and she's not. And so she's staying back. And so guess what? Boom. She won this Sunday on Father's Day. She, while I'm out of town, she actually gets to go up to Denver. And guess what? She gets to see Ben Folds and the Colorado Symphony. So she won tickets. Now, is it cool that she gets to see the symphony? And is that cool how it all comes back around and everything? Absolutely. That's just really, it's just fun, right? It's just a really cool deal. The part that's really, really important is that before, when I was winning some contests, when I was calling in, when I was taking the action, I was winning the prizes. And my wife was like, wow, you're winning a lot of prizes. Wow, I want to get in on some of those prizes. This morning, literally, I just yelled out, hey, call the station, because there was a contest. She was able to get through, and boom, she won a prize. Why? Well, and why is that so important? Because she took the actions, right? You can't win the prize. You can't get results if you're not taking action. If you're not generating leads, if you're not generating sales, if there's people not joining what it is that you're doing, taking you up on your offer, the question I would ask you is, is your offer, are you putting your offer out there? Are you actually getting it out there? Are you actually sharing your offer, right? Are you participating? Are you in the game? Because you don't have a chance to win if you're not in the game, right? You don't even have the possibility. You can't win if you're not even in the game. So I want to propose to you that winning, that having some success, that getting some results is a mere product of you starting to participate just a little bit of participation, and some results will come back. Then you can see what those results are and tweak the actions so that you can improve the results. My wife's action this morning spoke so loudly to me that I had to cancel what I was going to do and talk about this, because it was powerful. Because over the past few months, there's been some, I don't want to say tension, but there has been some back and forth about all this stuff that I've won. Literally, my wife's like, dude, you're winning like computers and cameras and trips and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, yeah, because that's like part of what I do for a living. That's what part of being an online marketer, an online networker, an affiliate marketer, that's part of the benefit of doing that. That's what's so powerful about this business model. That's what's so powerful, is in addition to the income streams that you have, in addition to the relationships that you're building, in addition to the help that you can show others to build their business, you can get extra stuff on the side, right? You can win extra things on the side. What would it look like if you never had to buy a computer because you won it? What would it look like if you didn't have to buy a tablet or an iWatch, or if you didn't have to pay to go on a cruise? What would it look like if your lighting kit for your filming your videos was paid for? What if you won the camera? What if you won the brand new GoPro? Because those are all real things that have happened. Those are real things that can happen to you if you start to participate, right? You can't win if you're not competing, if you're not participating. And this morning's example of that was absolutely amazing. So someone had a question this morning, and I'm not sure really what we'll answer the question just on the webinar alone, not on the podcast this morning, because it's a kind of off topic for this morning's podcast. So we will answer the question on the webinar. So I want to say, if you have enjoyed this morning's podcast, go ahead and leave us a comment. Go like us over on Facebook at facebook.com/share the secrets. Go ahead and visit us at www.freedailycoaching.com. Go over and visit our website there and register for the live webinar. Come and hang out. Come and watch us as we film. See that there is a real guy sitting in his home office recording this podcast for you each and every day. I want to thanks for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching, and we'll see you the next time. All right. So for those that have joined us here on the webinar, the live broadcast of us recording the podcast, good morning and welcome. We did have a question this morning that came through, and it came through about so it's kind of like the question that's in the chat about calling someone and waking them up. And then the question that came through, though, can you retype in the question, because the question was different? It said something about, what do you do if you wake up a leader, or something to that effect? And my question, I guess I have a question back to ask, is how are you defining that you woke up a leader, right? Like, how did you identify that this person is a leader? And B, what would it matter that you called the person, whether they were a leader or they were a follower, I guess, for a lack of a better term there? Would that matter, the difference of if it was a leader or a follower? If you called and woke someone up, would that matter? So let me pose those two questions back before I answer the question. at hand here. Good morning and welcome. Great to see you. Waking up a lead. Oh, so yeah, I don't know what time zone you're in, but I'm in Mountain Time, and it's not even 9 o'clock. It's not 9 a.m. yet. So I always make it a rule that I don't call before 9 a.m. whatever time zone that I'm calling. And if I don't know the area code, right, of the telephone number that I'm calling, I simply just Google it and look and see what time zone is that in. So if I look and if it's 8:47 and right now here, and I looked and I saw it was a Pacific time zone, I would know that they're an hour earlier than me. So it's only like, it's not even 8 o'clock there. So I wouldn't call them. If I woke them up, I would just be like, oh, if I you know, when I introduced myself, when I greeted them on the phone, I'd probably ask, if that was, Bill, that I'm, can I speak with Bill? And if that was Bill speaking, I ask them, hey, I saw that you visited my website. I'd love to talk to you for a minute. Is now a good time? So that's it. That's what I would do. That's how I would handle that situation. And if it wasn't a good time, then I would just say, hey, when is a good time for me to call back and speak with you? So hopefully that answered that question. Good morning and welcome to everyone. Pretty excited. It's going to be a busy day today. For those that decided to join me with the webinar workshop exclusive, we are doing our first bonus session is going to be this afternoon. And then immediately following that will be our Friends of Free Daily Coaching work session. So if you're a friend of Free Daily Coaching, meaning if you're part of our private coaching program, which you can, if you're not a part of that and you would like to be, there's two ways to do that. Either having a membership, a mastery account with me via My Lead System Pro, or you can simply go over to www.freedailycoaching.com/friends and sign up for our monthly or a packaged service and get some one-on-one time with me as well, some one-on-one coaching. Or you can do the monthly service, and that gives you access to all of our recorded sessions, as well as a weekly session that we do each and every week. We meet live and we go over marketing. So we've gone back to a format where you come right into my office, you come right over my shoulder and look at exactly what marketing I'm working on at the time, what I'm building, what I'm doing, the thought process behind that. And then you can interact with me live, ask questions, and how that applies to what you're doing. You may even be building something and want some specific attention on something that you're creating. And that's what those work sessions are all about. So that is the scoop on what we've got going on tonight. Immediately following that webinar will be, or not immediately following, but just following our work session is then the Wednesday night webinar. So for those of you that are busy, I know that what that's like. Remember that all of our stuff is recorded. So if you have one of these options and you're getting connected with either the Friends of Free Daily Coaching, whether you're doing the webinar workshop, or you're coming to the Wednesday night webinar at My Lead System Pro, remember that all three of those are recorded if there's other things going on in your life. Now, of course, coming live and attending is always the best if you can. So remember that we will be on break on Friday for the Free Daily Coaching podcast. I'm going to attempt to get a quick podcast out tomorrow morning. It's probably going to be a very quick and short one because I need to head out to the airport to travel to Las Vegas tomorrow. So thank you for joining us here. Thank you for allowing me to go a little freestyle and share how important it is to participate, how important it is to just go take the action for yourself and see that you could get results. You could take some action and get a result today. And I want to see that happen. So thank you for joining us here on the Free Daily Coaching webinar and podcast. We'll see you the next time.